What is up, PokeMoshPit? My name is Eric, YouTube name AnkleBreaker1023, and here for you guys today I have a Pokemon Black and White 2 RU battle. This match is against Mizticall, who is a good buddy of mine. He also uploads very good Pokemon content, so I definitely suggest you check out his channel after this video. His link will be in the description below. Before I really get into the match, I just want to say a big shout out and thank you to Xenon and Vec for bringing back the PokeMoshPit and the PokeMoshPit beta. They're doing a very nice thing for the community by taking time out of their own personal days to upload extra content to these two channels. So big shout out to them. Thank you guys very much. And let's get into this match. It is a very good RU battle. So he is off with Clefable. I with my Mesprit. Now this Mesprit's kind of a weird set. It's max HP, max special attack, Calm Mind, but I do have Stealth Rock on it because Mesprit was the last member I added to this team. Now it's like, I don't have rocks, I might as well just put it on Mesprit. And I go for the Stealth Rock on the first turn as he goes for Double Edge, and that does a lot of damage. So I'm kind of thinking that this thing is probably Magic Guard Life Orb. And I'm going to go right for the Psychic, and seeing as that does a very nice chunk, I know he's definitely not defensive. He has to be offensive, especially because I don't see any leftovers. But I go for the Stealth Rock. He goes for another Double Edge. I'm able to live it, just solely due to the fact that my leftovers recovered from last turn, which is really nice. But here, switch out the Spiritomb is actually very obvious. I didn't pull a double switch because I really didn't know. I didn't want to bring him in. I didn't want anything to really take a double edge. So I just went right for the Ice Beam, predicting the Spiritomb. It ends up like working out in my favor, but it's really not like the best play of all time because it's really not a huge deal because I know it did so much damage, right? But here, I know that these things can Sucker Punch, Pursuit. I know that things can Calm Mind and that they can Shadow Sneak. Here, I could try to switch out, maybe hoping that he'll just go for like the Sucker Punch, predicting an Ice Beam, or going for a Shadow Sneak, thinking I'll stay in and go for something. But he predicts my switch out and goes for the Pursuit, nails me right on the switch out, and ends up working out very well for him. But now I can bring in my Choice Banded Entei, and Adamant Choice Banded Entei is a gigantic threat no matter what. This guy's got a Slowking. Slowking takes hits so well, takes hits from Entei if it's physical defensive so well. I go right for that Adamant Choice Banded Flare Blitz, and it does way too much to this Slowking. That did a crap ton of damage, basically telling me that Slowking is definitely special defensive. Gotta be max HP, max Def, or maybe some of its special attacking investment or something, because that did way too much damage. But now I know I don't want to take a Scald, and it's looking like it might kill, but if it doesn't, I do not want to take that Scald damage. And even the extra recoil would kind of stink, because he can just switch out because he got Regenerator. But he makes a very nice play and predicts my switch out into my Amoonguss and goes for the Psyshock. Lands me, it hits me so hard, I'm thinking, what? Like, why did it do so much damage? And obviously, that's a critical hit. But seeing how I get my leftovers first, as he gets his leftovers right now, I know that I am faster than this thing. Basically saying I get a free Spore, then I can Spore and switch out and get my Regenerator health back, which is very nice for me. But he decides to bring in his Pharaoh Seed as as Sleep Fodder, and now that play is kind of going to stink for him in the end. But landing the Spore on the Pharaoh Seed is very nice for me because having something in sleep is so nice. Also, the thing that makes this even better is I'm able to get a free switch out into my Choice Banded Entei, and that free switch into my Banded Entei is fantastic. But he actually predicts my switch into Entei, which is a good play on his part. He brings out his Typhlosion now, predicting my Entei switch because he knows that he can take my Flare Blitzes pretty well, I guess, because he's probably scarfed with Eruption, but he can take it well just due to resistances. But folks, Typhlosion, even though he resists, cannot take Adamant Choice Banded Entei's Flare Blitzes very well. Spoilers for later. But I bring in my Wartortle now, which is people kind of knock Wartortle in RU, but I love Wartortle in RU because it does fit the Fire Water Grass theme on my team, and it is a spinner that isn't weak to rocks, and I don't know, I like Wartortle. He fits in. It doesn't matter. Eviolite user, it's okay, cool. Go Wartortle. But now he predicts my switch, and he went for HP Rock, thinking I'd stay in. It does nothing. And then I switch into my Magneton now, thinking he might bring in his Slowking, and so I can also take HP Rocks for days. But now he goes in, he actually switched into his Clefable. But I know that this thing definitely carries Fire Blast because he's offensive, and I know offensive Fable runs Fire Blast. And I also knew that they either run Thunderbolt or Grass Knot. I was thinking Grass Knot, but it does pack Thunderbolt. And I am able to live it due to my Eviolite and my special defensive EVs. But I do get Power Hacks. I think I did just go right for the Scald. But he just goes for Double Edge here. Is able to knock me out with that Stab Life Orb damage. And it's all good because now I can I don't mind whenever something dies in this battle because as long as it doesn't have hazards up, because that is a free switch into my Adamant Choice Banded Entei, and nothing on his team appreciates Adamant Choice Banded Entei, as my spoilers are going to come to play right here. He brings in Typhlosion, takes another 25%, 25 plus 25 is 50, he's at about half HP, go for an Adamant Choice Banded Flare Blitz, which is resisted, and it cleans him up. does the job from right there. That just shows the pure power of this thing, especially in an RU tier where it's not very easily countered. Not that I could think of off the top of my head. There probably is a fairly decent counter, but off the top of my head, I can't think of one. That this thing is a monster. But in comes Hariyama. And I'm thinking, all right, I gotta sponge hits from something. I guess Amoonguss is my best bet because I could take a fake out if he wants to go for Ice Punch. I don't think I could take that well at all. But I think Amoonguss is just basically my best switch in here because I can just at least wall stab. But I see he's definitely gut set. But here I'm basically hoping I can live a hit. He goes for the Facade, and I actually am able to live it with just a little bit of HP. But I end up going for the Giga Drain because I can't spore him because he's poison and he has Sleep Water. Clear Smog would do nothing, and I just go for that Giga Drain, get some HP back. Now here, you could make the case that I could go into a Magneton to predicting the Facade because he's probably going to go for it. But I knew that since I was at very low red, he might just go right for the Guts Close Combat, maybe predicting the Magneton. So I really did not want to risk that at all. And so I just went for the safe play and just let my Amoonguss die. So basically down my 2 walls, and Whisperit's kind of the wall because he has max HP. It's wall-ish, but it's really a bad situation for me. Bring in Hitmonlee, the obvious switch to Spiritomb is obvious, so I go right for the Earthquake. And after Hazard and Ice Beam damage, that thing is at a pretty bad amount of HP. This is an Adamant Scarf Hitmonlee, and this thing hits like a truck with Reckless. And seeing how much that Earthquake did, I'm definitely looking like a 2-hit KO. At this point in the match, I have to risk it. I have to risk the 2-hit KO, because if it does 2-hit KO, that thing gets out of the way. I can go for high jump kicks, and if it's not 2-hit KO, he can burn me. That would suck, but maybe he'll miss a Will-O-Wisp, or maybe if he goes for like Pursuit or something, Shadow Sneak, it won't do too much damage. But able to kill him off, which is fantastic. And now he brings in his Slowking. Now I'm thinking, since he has Psyshock, I know he has Psyshock, Scald, he probably has Slack Off and Toxic. So I'm thinking he doesn't have Fire Blast, so I feel relatively safe bringing in my Magneton. This is a sub-Magneton, so I definitely love going. I definitely think this is a good matchup for me. So now here I'm going to go right for the Thunderbolt because I don't want to go for Substitute. I was thinking about going for Sub, but I'm just thinking he might switch out. I'm just going to go right for Thunderbolt. I end up scoring a critical hit. Now, basically, that crit, you can say it matters because it mattered because it mattered to kill him because he's max HP, max for death. But the thing is, the crit doesn't really matter in the end because he can only go for Scald, and Sashak, he told me, he did not have Fire Blast. I would have been able to live either hit and just go for another stab for Thunderbolt. As you can see, Thunderbolt just almost kills off this thing. I would have been able to just clean him up with I would have been able to go for another Thunderbolt, and I would have been able to outspeed this thing, go for another Thunderbolt. And then I also have that's not my words. Also have Adamant Bandit Entei lying in the wings. So basically saying that crit, it looks like it matters. On paper it matters because it mattered to kill, but in the end of the match it really doesn't make a difference. Oyama will go down to the poison damage because I know Thunderbolt's just not strong enough to kill it off. But now I can just go, like I said, into my Adamant Choice Bandit Entei, and he can go into his Cliff Fable. And his last Pokemon is his Ferroseed, which would have been very nice for him to be awake because he can bring it in on my Magneton. And I don't have HP Fire, I have HP Grass, I think. Why? I don't know. I don't really know. I don't really care. But I run HP Grass. But he brings in his Clefable, go right for the Flare Blitz, able to knock that thing out. And now his last Pokemon is the Ferroseed. I think that's his last Pokemon is his Ferroseed. I'm going to go right for that Adamant Choice Bandit Flare, but it's quad super effective, not resisted. Quad super effective. Entei is a strong powerhouse monster of a Pokemon. It's going to take him all the way down, and that is going to be the end of Ferrothorn. That is also going to be the end of this battle. I'm going to be able to live the Iron Barbs and the recoil damage, as you can see, and that is going to be good game, Mike. Well, that was a really good game, Mike. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle. If you did enjoy, please leave a like rating on this video for the PokeMoshPit. Leave a like for PokeMoshPit coming back. I know you've seen a couple of videos, but for my coming back, leave a like. And also check out my channel, and definitely check out my opponent's channel. He is a very good commentator and a very nice guy, very good battler too. So definitely check him out. Check me out if you have the time to. Also check out Beck and Xenon for being such nice guys and bringing the channels back to life. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Just going to try to bring as much content to you as you can. We love you, PokeMoshPit. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.